throughout the emergence in human society of this thing that's called the state. What is the state? The state is this organized democracy. It is the police department. It is the army, the navy. It is the prison system, the courts, and what have you. This is the state and the repressive organization. The state, everybody else, the police, because if there were no police, you'd be caught yourself.
Our people are poor. You know damn real nobody wants to be poor. This plan is going to show how the pigs react when the people start to take community control over what belongs to them and liberate it back.
The time when people can come in our community and get us to vote for them so that they can be our political leaders and tell us what to do and what not to do is long gone.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So, let's just get right into it, man. Let's talk about black politics. This is an election year. This is a primary year. You know, the presidential elections will be coming up in, another couple years or so. But I want to talk about black politics. Specifically, black people in politics and stuff like that. Now, I recall a while ago, one of my homeboys, he had registered for classes at one of the junior colleges in my hometown, and I was with him because I was curious too. This is before I actually went back to school again. I'd been back to school plenty of times, and I did eventually get a degree. But I was with him, and at this time I was actually thinking about getting. I've always been a history buff, you know. I've always been a history buff, and I was going to go to study. I was going to go back to school to study history, and be a poli-sci major, a political science major, because part of the curriculum for political science is history, world history, U.S. history, and all those things. Those things kind of go hand in hand to be a political science major. So I was going to go that route and possibly even consider a career in politics. Now, I had a professor tell me this, and this was a white professor. He told me this. He asked me if I was sure that if that's what I wanted to do, and he said because politics isn't necessarily about you getting in and changing anything. Politics is about you getting in where you fit in. Plain and simple. See, white supremacy has created a system, right? This country was founded on the premises of white supremacy. Although our Constitution is a secular constitution, it was founded on the premise of white supremacy. Let's face it, all of the founding fathers were fucking white supremacists. If they weren't, they wouldn't have owned slaves. And I don't give a fuck how much you speak out against slavery. If you own slaves, you are a piece of shit. Like, bro, I could be the type of dude. You probably don't know what the House of Ruth is. I don't know what you guys know about the House of Ruth. But that was a place for women in Baltimore to go, in Maryland, for spousal abuse. They would go and get counseling and group support, kind of like NA is to people who've abused narcotics. Now, that's like a dude. That's like somebody being the head of a chapter of the House of Ruth and telling women how to avoid a fucked up situation with a man beating on them, and then go home and beat the shit out of your own fucking wife. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a white supremacist who owns slaves talking against slavery reminds me of. And I love this analogy that Chris Rock. It's actually a joke, but it's actually quite an ingenious analogy. America for black people is like the uncle that paid your way through college, but raped you. You know what I'm saying? That's what America is for us. That's what America is for us. Not only raped you, but wants you to forget about the fact that he raped you. In fact, he did you a favor by raping you, because white people honestly believe, white supremacists honestly believe that them that the Middle Passage, because they'll ask the question, well, what would have happened to black people? Would you have been better off if we would have left you in Africa? Yes, we'd be better off if you would have left us where the fuck we were, so that we can build with our people. We're what, 40, 50 million strong, at least in the U.S.? If we hadn't been scattered about the planet, think of what Africa could be if all of these different black personalities were still in Africa, fighting against the tyranny of white supremacy and fucking colonialism. Imagine what Africa could be right now. So, that's a nice little segue into the next part of this conversation, talking about black politics. Listen, there is no such thing as black politics for black people in this country. We don't have anybody who represents us on that level. Sure, there are tons of black people in politics, and there are quite a few of them who are willing to stand up and fight against white supremacy. Plenty of them, like Senator Al Green, for instance. He's one that comes right to mind, right offhand, you know? There are plenty of black people in positions of government, the judicial system, so on and so forth, that are willing to do what it takes to support their own, right? But here's the thing. It's still a system that is controlled primarily by white supremacist males or females. It is a system that is not in our control. See, I am a fan of voting locally, but for presidential elections, that shit is a fucking scam. And I did learn. I've known this for quite some time. Actually, I remember learning it, but I was reminded today. I was watching the Zoe What show, The Voice of Reason. Zoe Williams is a radio person, an internet personality. He frequently appears on the 5150 show with Corey Holcomb as one of the guest hosts. Zoe Williams is a very intelligent brother right here from California. He's a very, very intelligent brother, you know, and he speaks up against and out against white supremacy and the mistreatment of black people. But he made a very good point that the word politics, from its original, Latin roots, I believe, or Greek roots, means theater. Politics is like the professor told me. Politics isn't about making change, affecting positive change. It's about getting in where you're fitting in. It's about playing your part, playing a role in this fucking theater. Politics is a fucking joke. It's a joke. It is the sham that is put in front of you to make you think you actually have a fucking voice. See, because in American politics, you have to have wealth in order to be an official, serious political candidate. You have to have wealth. First and foremost, you have to have wealth. If you want to be successful in your campaign, you have to have wealth. But here's the thing, the standard of wealth that has been held up to black people. See, white people in this country, in the Western world, in the world period, are the standard of wealth that black people are looking to, right? Because of how much wealth they have been able to accumulate. That's the standard of wealth. But let's think, where in the fuck do all of these white people really get their fucking wealth? First and foremost, they got it from the transatlantic slave trade. That's, at least in America, that's how these wealthy white people got all their fucking money, because their ancestors fucking traded in slaves, right? And they realized that they can use us and what's the word I'm looking for? They can use us as puppets to make them money. We're commodities to them. We're assets to them. They know that our natural talent and abilities will generate money, because the world is in awe of the things that we can do, and people are willing to pay to watch us do them. Now, imagine if we had control of all of the entertainment that we put out there in our hands. Wealth. Imagine if we stood side by side with our brothers and sisters in Africa and kicked the fucking colonizers the fuck out of Africa, because the wealth that white people hold up to you as a thing for you to envy, they get their wealth from us. They get their wealth from our fucking motherland, from Africa. That's where white wealth comes from. I can't even remember who the fuck said this. Man, who said this? What historical figure said this? That gold is money. Gold is money. The paper money, the fiat currency that we use, is a fucking joke. Our money is based on the quote-unquote gold standard, at least it used to be, and that was based on debt. But gold is real money. You understand? So in order for black people in this country to have any political power, we have to reconnect with Africa. First and foremost, I mean, we have to be tethered, adjacent, connected at the hip with our brothers and sisters in Africa. Because that's the only way we're going to get the type of wealth or be able to accumulate the type of wealth in a certain amount of time frame to compete with white supremacy. To compete in the political arena. We need wealth. We need white people's hands the fuck out of Africa's pocket. And we need to be working with our people to bring the wealth of Africa to the forefront so that it can actually benefit Africans. That's the only way we're going to gain any political foothold in this country, is by having Africa once again being our ally, being the motherland, and us working in conjunction with our African brothers and sisters who are coerced when they come to this country not to deal with us at all. And before anybody comes on my channel and tells me that's not fucking true, I know, I have dated African females. I know African. I've hung out with them. I went and partied with them. Got drunk with them. You know what I'm saying? I know this for a fact because they told me this shit themselves. So it ain't nothing you can fucking tell me to go against some shit that I heard from the fucking horse's mouth. There's nothing you can fucking tell me. Nothing. Now, let's get back to it. And in fact, I'm just going to end the video on this because I don't want to make it for so long because I got some other things I want to do. But that's the fact. If black people want to gain any political power in this country, we have to gain wealth. And in order for us to have any wealth, we have to reconnect with Africa and slowly but surely help them push white supremacy and all of the other nations of people who I would say are cowards, like the Asians, Hispanics. You're fucking cowards because you sit back and watch what white supremacy is doing, and so that they don't turn their attentions on to you, you join in with the bullshit. Fuck you. We don't need no allies from no other races. Because you other races have shown that you motherfuckers aren't our allies. The only allies we need are the motherfuckers that look like us. Everybody else can fucking kick rocks. And I feel that way wholeheartedly, 100%. 100%. Because every time there's an issue that affects black people only, we're the only ones that stands up and fight until it happens to your asses, and then you want to stand up next to us because you want our numbers and our support. But we don't get that same support initially from you motherfuckers. I'm going to leave it at that. That's how we gain political power. That's how we gain wealth, by reconnecting with Africa. Anything else is just us fucking walking circles in the fucking dark. I'm out. Peace.